Hello, this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Sam.
And I'm Rob.
How good are you finding your ways from A to B? What can you read on that?
Come on, Sam, this is the 21st century. Everyone uses GPS and mobile phone apps to find their way around these days.
Sure, but before mobile phones were invented as your destination wasn't so easy as sailors used the stars and suns to navigate toward out this direction they wanted to travel, and navigate, navigating on land was our most important without a compass instrument for finding distinction direction. That's used um magnetic nickel magnetic needle which moves to always point north.
But as we'll be hearing in this program, navigation at sea is easy compared to finding your way in outer space. After all, what's up and what's down for astronauts who are floating in zero gravity in space? Is there a true north like here on Earth? And how is everything communicated by the fact that all the stars and planets are moving?
Some space questions there, Rob, but first I have a question of my own to answer how astronauts know which way is up. So who better to add that the first person in space, but who was that? What is A. Neil Armstrong's B. U Yuri Gagarin's or C. Valentina Tereshkova?
Well, Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, but I don't think he was the first person in space, so I think it's B. Yuri Gagarin.
Okay, I will reveal the answer later in the program. Now let's get back to Rob's earlier question about whether there's just a thing as long in space, and to answer that is first useful to know how long is found on Earth.
Listen as astrophysicist Evan Siegel as he explains why compass always points north to BBC World Service Program Cloud Science. Because Earth behaves like it has a giant bar magnet in it, and your compass needle will point north towards Earth's magnetic pole, and we've arbitrarily defined north as that's what we're going to say up is, like the North Pole, that's as up as you can go.
As Earth is like a giant magnet because the needle of a compass is magnetized, magnetized and is attracted to the magnetic, magnetic pole. The points near the north and south poles where the Earth's magnetic field is con, cons, concentrated.
This explains how we found north, but even points out that the decision to call north up and south down is arbitrary, arbitrary, decided by random chance, not based on any particular reason.
When we look at the world map, we think of lofts, loft as up the USA in the northern hemispheres is above Abasi in the southern hemispheres. But from space, Earth can just as easily be seen the other way up with Australia, South Africa, Africa, and South America. At the top, both views are equally
Well,
true.
that's a mind-blowing thought. But even though we can argue which description is up, it's still true that we can use a compass to navigate on Earth. However, this simply isn't true in space. Here's astrophysicist Evan Siegel again to tell BBC World Service Crowd Science why. The problem with navigating in space is that the magnetic field flips irregularly every few hundred or few thousand light years. There's no central object like the black hole and the center of our galaxy. It doesn't dominate the whole galaxy. It doesn't make a magnetic field that you can feel out here 25, 27,000 light years from the center. So, man- magnetism is not a good guide to navigating in space.
Unlike years sounds like measurements of time, but in fact it measures the distance that light travels in 1 year, which given that light can travel 7.5 times around the Earth in one s- second, in a very, very large way around 16 trillion means in fact.
Well, the problem is that every few hundred light years the magnetic field flips, turns over or moves into a different position. So compass which a compass which depends on magnetism is no good for navigating in space.
So how do spacecrafts know where they are and which way to go? The answer is both simple and very clever. They use a specific heat sensor to detect the position of the sun and use that to guide their way.
So simple yet so ingenious. I'm sure it would have impressed the first person in space, whoever they were.
Yes, in my question, I asked who the first person in space was.
And I said it was B. Yuri Gagarin. I've got the I've got to be right, haven't I?
It was right, of course. It was white, of course. Soviet conference Yuri Gagarin became the first man who in space in 1961 with a volunteer Tereskova following in his footsteps to become the first woman in space 2 years later.
Okay, let's pick up the vocabulary from this program on how to navigate or find your way in space.
On Earth, you can use a compass, an instrument with a magnetic needle that moves to point north, that's towards to the magnetic poles posts are points near the north or south poles where Earth's magnetic field is strongest.
Seeing that north is up is arbitrary, done randomly, not according to any particular reason or principle.
Light years is a unit measuring the distance that light travels in 1 year around sexual meets.
And finally, to flip means to turn over or move into a different position.
Once again, our time is up. Goodbye for now.
Bye bye.